Hey scholars, we're back for another interactive read aloud. Remember that interactive read aloud, it comes from the word inter, which means between. Active means act or action you can think of. It's the way you work between the book and yourself. And practicing these interactive read alouds just gives us a chance to grow as readers. So let me tell you about today's book. So I picked one of my favorites. It's called Delores Thesaurus. And a thesaurus has to do with our target today. A thesaurus is like a dictionary, but it gives a word and then it gives the synonyms and synonyms and antonyms to a word. So today we're going to focus on synonyms, words that mean the same. I just am a lover of words, so I love this book, and much to my surprise, the main characters, well, not the main characters, of course, Delores, but the other main character is Mrs. Meyer. I think it's Ms. Meyer. And it's not spelled the same, but let's pretend it's me because she loves words just like I do. And I think I got that love of words from my mother. This is a book, a dictionary that my friend Mrs. Tompkins gave me, and because she knows how much I love words. But those words and loving words, I think were a gift that my mother gave me. So thanks for being a great mom. All right, you guys. Let's hit that target today of understanding what synonyms are. Enjoy the book, and don't forget to respond on your seesaw at the end. Enjoy!
Delores Thesaurus, written by Jessica Lee Hutchings, illustrated by Hazel Quintanilla. Delores Thesaurus. Delores Thesaurus, with her pink attaché, put on her coat and her purple beret, then went out with Dot, her pet Bouvier, with a plan to collect the big words grown-ups say. She treated big words like a valuable jewel, a love she had learned from Miss Myers at school. When she asked her, "Miss Myers, do big words suit me?" Miss Myers responded, "Indubitably." Miss Myers could easily have just answered yes, but indubitably had so much more finesse. So Delores had picked up this fine attribute and made finding big words her exclusive pursuit. She would go out with Dot, exploring the town, spotting big words and writing them down. Wherever she looked, there were words to be found, like outlandish and languid, aloof and astound. With her attaché filled with the words she had seen, she'd go back to Miss Myers to learn what they mean. "Delores Thesaurus," Miss Myers would say, "I love the new words that you found yesterday." She loved learning new ways to say what she meant, so she kept on collecting everywhere that she went. She would go to the park and eavesdrop on a parent. "My child's behavior was atrocious, nefarious, aberrant." Nefarious, she wondered. That doesn't sound good. And she made plans to use it the first chance she could. When she heard a word that had left her confounded, she listened real closely to be sure how it sounded. With her favorite green pen, she would write the word down, then continue exploring the rest of the town.
All right, readers, let me stop us right there for just a moment. So I want to reread something. Remember what our target is. We're going to know and use synonyms. And you're going to notice that Delores uses all these big words to describe just your very typical words. So I'm going to reread something for you. Nefarious, she wondered. That sounded good. And she made plans to use it the first chance she could. When she heard a word that left her confounded, she listened real closely to be sure how it sounded. With her favorite green pen, she would write down the word down, then continue exploring the rest of the town. Well, first of all, I wonder if you notice this is written in poetry form. I love poetry that is kind of fun and spunky and peppery, and this book definitely delivers on that. Secondly, this is the part. She wondered. That's what I want us doing about words. I want us wondering. Now, looking at that target and thinking ahead to what your interaction is going to be, the question you're going to have to answer or explain is tell how you felt about the book Delores Thesaurus. And notice that I made these words italics or slanted. That's what we do to titles. Or we can underline them or we can put quotes around them. But spice up your response with synonyms and explain your thinking. So let me show you what I mean. Like if you're like, this book was stupid. And then, please, okay, anyways, you can write whatever you want. I said tell how you feel. But then you go on your Chromebook and you put in stupid. And then start putting in the word synonym and you'll see it right there. You go in and now, let me move my head. You start looking. This book was unintelligent. This book was ignorant. This book was brainless. This book was mindless. You see what I mean? Instead of using just your typical word, a synonym is going to mean the same or about the same, and then you're going to be able to use it. So make sure you're telling how you feel and you're explaining. Your sentence will start something like this. This book was blank. I think this because, again, my head is in the way. I think this because. So you're expanding it. And I want you to not stop until you are proud. So if you're like, okay, I could get away with this assignment with 2 sentences, think to yourself, maybe making myself proud, I would write 3 sentences or 4 sentences. Do I think you need to write a novel? No, that's too much. But when you turn in your work, make yourself proud. I use caps and M marks when I write sentences. I uppercased any proper nouns, the names of people, places, and things. I uppercase the letter I when it stands by itself or used in a contraction. Remember our mantras that make us strong writers. Write from the heart. Tell us how you feel. And back to the story.
She would go to the market to listen to shoppers. These prices are astronomical. They'll make us all paupers. She would go to the library to hear college students. The hero, while audacious, is plagued with impudence. She would go to the cafe to monitor the patrons. This fare is exquisite. What remarkable creations! Delores told Dot, let's perambulate this way, off to find more grown-ups and the big words they say. Then she walked to the wharf where she overheard sailors. I assure you, Ahab, we are prodigious as whalers. She took these great words that she'd heard around town, listening closely and writing them down, and placed them all carefully inside her case, which was now getting full and had run out of space. She was excited for Miss Myers to explain each new word, until swoosh from above, something alarming occurred. A pelican swooped down, grabbed her pink attaché, gulped it up in its beak, and flew swiftly away. Delores was horrified and yelled out to say, That gargantuan pelican has my words of the day. Stop! Desist! Delores cried out and wailed. She ran fast, reached high, but her efforts all failed. Delores ran to the grown-ups, all milling around. She jumped and she shouted. Dot flipped upside down. But no one stopped to help, and no one seemed to listen. So Delores concocted a more grown-up composition. We should use some big words, she shouted to Dot, so they'll stop and they'll help us. It's our only shot. She thought back to the new words that they had collected, but couldn't be sure which ones should be selected. What words do I remember that I can now use? Thought Delores as she approached a man reading the news. Pardon me, sir, my attaché was languid indeed. Oh, that's nice, he replied, and continued to read. Drat, Delores cried, that word can't be right. Then she turned to a woman, hoping she'd see her plight. Miss, my attaché was outlandish today. That's too bad, quipped the lady as she went on her way. Meanwhile, the pelican flew on. It fluttered and soared with her pink attaché and the words she had scored. Dolores persisted. The mailman was next, but when she approached him, he just seemed perplexed. Sir, can you help? My attaché took an archaic careen. I'm sorry, young lady, I don't know what you mean. Still not right, huffed Dolores as she searched around the crowd. Please help! Anyone! Help me! She bellowed out loud. Everything all right, young lady? A shopkeeper asked. No! Exasperate my attaché! I have been excruciatingly tasked! The shopkeeper responded. What was that? Dolores said, My attaché! It's equatorial stat! We must hurry. The feeble fowl burgled my case. The shopkeeper was puzzled, but made an amicable face. So, a bird has your briefcase? Have I got that part right? Dolores nodded frantically and lit up like a light. I wonder, said the shopkeeper as she pointed in the air, if perhaps it's that bird that is sitting up there? Then the three of them chased the big bird down the pier, and they called to the pelican, Hey, pelican, come here! It really likes your case, the shopkeeper joked. It probably won't drop it unless it's provoked. So Dot leapt to action, saving the day, growling and barking for the pink attaché. The pelican squawked and dropped the attaché, then flapped its wings hard and flew sprightly away. Dolores ran to the case. She was beaming with pride. All the words she'd collected were safely inside. Dolores explained all the words she had used and how everyone responded by looking confused. The shopkeeper smiled and made everything clear. She said to Dolores, Here's the trouble, my dear. There's a reason your pleas did not go as planned. When you used your new words, they did not understand. When you said archaic, it really meant out of date. When you said exasperate, it meant infuriate. When you said careen, it meant to hurtle and streak. And when you used the word feeble, all that meant was weak. Using big words can sound grown-up indeed. There's so many fine ways you can say what you need. And it's clear that in big words, you're very well versed. But remember, it helps to know what they mean first. Dolores giggled. My words caused such a mess. I really confused everyone then, I guess. She held up her case and expressed her unease. I wish that I knew how to teach myself these. Try this, said the shopkeeper, handing her a worn book. I've found this quite useful. You should give it a look. A dictionary, cried Dolores. Precisely essential. Thank you so much. This is packed with potential. So Delores Thesaurus, with her pink attaché and her burgeoning collection of words grown-ups say, is learning to use them in just the right way, with the lovely worn dictionary she obtained on that day. Now, when Delores Thesaurus finds a new word, she does not take a chance on sounding absurd. She looks the word up to know its definition, and that has filled her with a whole new ambition. Using all my new words isn't something I find scary. In fact, you can call me Delores Dictionary.
Well, I hope you like the book. Don't forget to interact with it and respond to the question on the screen there. And don't forget, the best way to become a better reader is to read. See you next time.